Hi everyone, it's Lesley here from Elegant Edges, and today I'm come to show you an item from my pre-order for the new Stampin' Up Annual Catalogue. I can't show you inside the catalogue because I'm not allowed, it doesn't go live until beginning of May, but I can show you one of the items that's come and show you how to make a really great fun fold card using these papers. Okay. Let me put that to one side before I get tempted to open it. So these papers that I've got today come from the Fresh as a Daisy suite, and in the suite they come with Cheerful Daisies stamps and matching dies. Lovely papers. This is a kind of collage sheet, lots of cut aparts if you like that, especially if you make books, albums. And look, they're really true to name, they are all daisies. So one side of each sheet you get lovely daisies. I love this one, it's great. These are all over ones. Let's turn it around the right way, that's good. Garden green, one of my favourite colours. And look how bright and cheerful they are. You could have them really either way. So they've got daisies on one side, and then all of them on the other have got this lovely, really artistic wash effect. So this is the card we're going to be making today. I didn't make up the fun fold, but I have changed it a little bit. So we've got a belly band that slips off, and I'm calling this a Cascade card because it was made by a German demonstrator, Katja from KreativePause-EL, which is lovely. And it's not much point me just sending you straight to her site if you're not a fluent German speaker. Open it up, lots of dimension, and of course it uses this beautiful daisy suite that I've just been showing you. So that's what we're going to make. So outside the thick card and inside where we've got a lot of mechanism, I've used the ordinary weight basic white card. Okay. Not too difficult, not as difficult as it looks, I have to say. So let me just put that to one side and we can start. So this is half a sheet of A4 cut at 4 1/4. If you're in the US, you cut yours at 4. This is 4 1/8, sorry, by the whole length of A4. If you're in the US, obviously you cut yours at 4 1/4. That's your normal size. Yours will be 11 inches long. UK will be the whole A4 sheet, and we're going to do some scoring. So here's my Stampin' Up trimmer that I really could not do without. I use it all the time, and it's the best trimmer and scorer that I think I've had. Okay, so we are going to score at 5 3/4, so long side across the top, 5 3/4 in the UK. Just score, and then we're going to take this out, put it in again at 5 3/4, and score again. And that leaves about 1/4 inch, and we're going to fold that on both of those score lines. Burnish both those score lines, and you can see it's like a little book. You've got a card, but you've got a spine here, and we're going to need that to take up the depth of the mechanism. So those are UK sizes. If you're in the US, you're 4 1/4, and you are going to score literally. You're just going to go about 1/8 of an inch short of 5 1/2. That was perhaps the hardest bit. Then with the ordinary weight basic white, this is 7 1/2 by 6, and we're going to make these little strips. Now you could use a lot of scrap card for this, but it's so much easier if you just do it in one piece. So along the long side here we are going to score at 2 3/4. So same for UK and US, 2 3/4, 3 1/2, 4 1/4, and 7 inches. Okay, so I'm going to score it and fold it rather so you can see. So we've got 1/2 inch tucked under. Now the next one here, we're going to go, so mountain, mountain, then valley, and back again with a mountain. Okay, so eventually, but not now, we're going to tuck that under and glue that shut. And you can see it makes that sort of gusseted fold, that shape. So just now we're going to open it up and we're going to do some scoring and some cutting. You'll notice I've got the 1/2 inch section at the bottom. That's quite important. So to cut it into strips, we are going to measure 3/8. So we've got 1/2 inch, so it's 1/8 of an inch before. Check at the top, check at the bottom, make sure we're level. Now we're going to score, but we're not scoring all the way down. We're only going to score up to the first fold line. Okay, if you go over a little bit, it's not going to matter, so try and just do the first one. So 3/8, and then we're going to go across to 3/4, and this time we're going to cut the whole strip. Okay, and we're going to do that most of the sheet, but not all of it. So 3/8. Have I got 3/8? 1 2 3. 1 2 3. We're going to score down to that first fold line. 3/4, cut. Okay, so I'm just going to whip through this. Now I sometimes find when I get to the narrow bits that it's hard to hold. So I'm just going to use a little bit of either post-it note or removable tape. Now this section we are not going to score. We're going to go over to 3/4 of an inch. And we just check and trim it. Obviously I didn't quite cut exactly, but it doesn't matter. Just check your last section is 3/4. So we're going to keep this last one without the score line separate. Get rid of my trimmer for a moment, and we should have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 sections that are scored. So we need to glue these shut, and for everything today I'm going to be using wet glue. Make sure that everything is in line. It's really important that everything lines up. Okay, they line up. And you need to tuck the flap inside. That way you can see the score line right to the top. So we've got 8 strips, but one does not have a score line. Trimmer. So I'm going to trim off a layer, a strip going down, 3 7/8. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side. And here it was 5 3/4, so I'm going to cut 5 1/2. Okay, so here's my card base. As you can see, it fits nicely. It's the same size, top and bottom. So we're going to pop those here. Wet glue, because we don't want it shifting with the mechanism. It's going to hold the mechanism. Nice even margin all the way around. US, you just do yours 1/4 inch smaller than your outside dimensions of your card. So normal matting. Okay, lovely. Now, the mechanism. Just stand the glue up. So we have all these strips. Right, one with no glue. Okay, so I'm going to line them all up facing the same way with the score line on the top. That way I get everything the right way. Okay, so one goes down, the little beaky bit down to the bottom. Take the next one, and we are going to overlap. So what we're going to actually do is to glue this one down on top, and we're going to put it as far as that score line and press it down. And that's why we've scored it. So I'm going to put some glue, not too much though, because I don't want it to squeeze out, onto the first piece, left hand side only. And you can see I've just gone up to the score line, but not really over it. If you see the score line, it doesn't matter. But what you don't want to do is to cover it sort of way over, because it'll be too thick. And this is the one with no score line. We're going to do the same thing. I just needed to make sure that was on the top. And the reason we wanted this one on the top was didn't need a score line showing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to glue this in line with the DSP at the top, and as much as we can in the center. But we're only going to stick this last section, so you need to make sure it's facing this way. We're only going to be putting glue on that section here. Right, now so in the middle, roughly, in line with the top of the DSP, as you can. Okay, Try and keep it parallel. Then I'm just going to slip my bone folder in and give it a nice little press down. Okay, just going to wait a moment, give it time to grab. While it's grabbing, I'm going to put glue on this side, over here. I'm sure I could just fold it, but I'm going to actually take it over. Get it level with this side, and then press down. Now, keep the card shut properly and press and hold. Because you've got this twisting action, it's going to try and distort the card. So we're just going to hold it. Just hold it and press down and go in there again with our bone folder. Give it a nice press. Check this one over here. Okay. So that actually is your mechanism. It will go completely flat. I'm just going to check it's all that. Yeah, it will go completely flat and folds. It's not truly flat because you've got this spine here and you've got all the thickness of card. There, but look, very nice. Excuse me. So now we're going to pop some daisies on here. So I've pre-made, otherwise it gets boring, quite a few daisies. I've stamped some in various sizes. I've die cut some. And I've also got some leaves here. So we need to decide how we're going to do this. On this one, I did it in 2 colours, which is nice. So I thought this time I'll do it in the lovely shades of the, I will learn these names, Bubble Bath Pink with the Moody Mauve stamping around the edge. And in the middle, I could have done it with a dauber, but there is a stamp to do that. And I have got a couple of stamps over, I hope, and I'll show you how I did it. Here. There we go. So I have to do some stamping today. So I stamped the outline in the Moody Mauve, and then to fill this bit, there's a stamp for that. So let's find the stamp for this one. So we've got an outline die, an outline stamp rather. I know why I can't find it. It's because I've got it ready on the stamp block. Here's our solid one that goes inside. So we've got the new Bubble Bath, which is a lovely sort of baby pink, really nice. Not too much, just make sure I've got it all over. And all I'm going to do is hover over the top and press. And if you're not spot on, do you know, it's not going to show. Pretty good. Okay, that's how we did that one. And then let's put this away first of all, or I get pink ink everywhere. Clean my stamp on my chamois. This is another great tool. Pop the stamp of what? No, I'll leave it on there. I won't lose that. This is a flower centre stamp, so I'm just going to use the new Lemon Lolly. It looks quite dark, but it comes out this lovely, look, lovely shade. and there's a large one, and then this is the smaller one, and anywhere approximately where it should be works out really well. Okay, brilliant. So let's put that away. Just clean my stamp. There's so much pigment in the Stampin' Up inks that they do stain, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop them working brilliantly. Okay, so just die cut those with the dies from here, run them through the machine, and you get these. Okay, maybe not. I'll put that one at the back. So we leave the back one empty. Then I'm going to put white, pink, white, pink, white, pink. Okay, right, let's put these out the way. Okay. Now, so these ones at the back are visible. I'm going to put them on little stalks, and part of that stamp set and die set are little stalks. So I die cut 2 in the, oh, what colour is it? Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm going to double them. I'm going to glue 2 together just to make them a lot stronger. Okay. So that can dry. Put some glue on. These are too long. I'll trim them to the length we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle with the larger one. Okay, so I'm going to put this smaller end, the narrower petals, at the bottom, and then I'm going to add some greenery. Part of the die set are these lovely sort of filigree leaves, but also more traditional ones. So I did some in the Lemon Lime Twist and some in this sort of golden colour, which is Wild Wheat. So we might have a little mixture going on. Right. So I think maybe I'll have a darker one on here. Pop it that way. Pop it on the end of the leaf. So we're going to miss the first one. 1, 2, I'm going to do number 3 here. Pop that there. And under. And you can see what I've done is I've overlaid 2 of the die cut pieces, and in the centre I literally just got a dauber with some of the lemon lolly and coloured the inside. So I am going to put this flat. I'm not using dimensionals because we've got enough thickness here. What I'm trying to do by starting in the middle is to make sure that there's no glue here. When we add decorations, we mustn't go over the width of the card, obviously. That's going to get in the way So then we're going to go down one. Now these two at the back, they are going to need a little bit of height. So I'm going now in, this first one is empty, one above it, and I'm just sticking it on the left. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to trim it to length in a second. Little bits oozed out, just hold it, making sure that doesn't interfere with that crease, with that fold line. So I think, how long, how high do we need that? Let's do the same with the second one. Don't need too much glue there. In the middle for this one. And this is just literally to make sure that these back ones are visible. Right. These are nice because they hang sort of at an angle where they droop their heads. So we're just going to see. Yeah, that's too long, that one. We're going to trim it off. Is that still too long? I think we're going to put it there, like that. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of this lovely filigree leaf. And I'm just going to squish it in the middle. I've put this one higher than my other one. Just a little bit on the bottom. Just so we've got a little bit of interest there with some leaf. Oh, that looks nicer that way. I think we'll have it that way around. Okay, so while I just tidy those, push those to one side for a moment. Okay, we need to think which papers we're going to have on the front. Okay, so 3 7/8. This is 5 3/4, so I'm going to cut that to 5 1/2. Okay, so that's going to go here. Just check. That looks fine. Right, so 5 1/2 long. Right, let's cut 5 1/2 long. So 3 7/8, 3 1/2, 3 5/8. Right, let's try and cut 5 1/2 this time. No, let's just make sure. 5 1/4. Okay, let's put that to one side. Just check the matting and layering. And I think 1 inch will be absolutely fine. So there's my belly band. Much too long, but so we all know how to do a belly band. Loosely wrap it round. Make sure that we've got enough wiggle room to get it on and off. Plenty of wiggle room there. Trim. I'm going to put some glue on that end, some glue on that end, and then I know that I've got it all around. It doesn't matter if it's kind of a bit unsightly because it's going to be covered. If I haven't got the angle quite right, it really won't matter. Just check before it's, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think I can finally put my trimmer to one side. Now, one of the dies in this lovely set, I'll show you, is this sort of, well, collage almost, a sort of, almost like a buttonhole with an arrangement. So I've die cut that, which is here, and instead of making my own arrangement, which is what I did for this belly band, that's now on walkabout. Oh, don't you love it? I've probably just knocked it off somewhere. Anyway, I made a collage myself before. So I've die cut the second layer, and you know when you've got it in line because all these holes match up. Okay, so that works. There's the middle layer, which will fit on there. And this goes on the top one. So this is my belly band. My little arrangement, and that was the one I did before that I made up. So I'm going to do it the same way with some leaves because I think they look really nice, and it's a nice contrast. with that Moody Mauve paper.
Just make sure there's no glue. No, we're fine. Check the belly band fits. I'm just trying to be very gentle, that's all. That's not a bit of greenery. Might need a bit more glue. It did. That's better. Okay.
So now we haven't got a sentiment, but what I have done in this set, you get some lovely words. You made my day, oops-a-daisy, wishing you the brightest birthday. Your friendship means everything. You get a lovely label shape. So while I was stamping, I stamped a few extras. I often do this and put them in a little cello bag inside. And then whatever I want, I've got one. If you enjoyed this tutorial and this fancy fold card, please like my YouTube video and subscribe to my channel because it really helps my channel grow. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.